Alexandria, the lost treasure. Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Great of Macedonia in 332 BC. After he came to Egypt, he found a village named Rakuda on the Mediterranean Sea, opposite to an island called Pharos Island. He decided to connect the village and the island, so he built a city bearing his name and was the capital of the country instead of Memphis. Alexander the Great made that decision for many strategic aims, including: first, that he wanted Alexandria to be the center of the Hellenistic civilization in the surrounding areas. Second, its position will help the Macedonian army in its invasions across the Mediterranean Sea and to become a trading center in this region. And Alexander the Great had what he wanted. After his death, the Ptolemaic era began, with the reign of Ptolemy I, and Alexandria began to develop and became more important. The Ptolemies were interested in it, especially in the period of prosperity, which is from the time of Ptolemy I until the reign of Ptolemy III. They are credited with building many historical monuments, such as the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the wonders of the ancient world, and the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, that was the first government library in the Old Testament, and it was destroyed after the Romans entered. The charming city has many monuments from various Roman, Greek, Coptic, and Islamic civilizations, but the land of the city is not alone in its richness. Perhaps the coast of the city was richer in its archaeological contents than its land. The city has several submerged towns and villages, which once represented the major parts of it, before being lost due to climate and natural changes, including the Soneth Heraclean. More recently, the scientific research ship Princess de Doda, carrying French archaeologist Frank Judion and French archaeologist Catherine, has been carrying out survey work in the depth of the Apokir marine area to determine the locations of the archaeological excavations of the submerged city of Heraclean. The sunken canopy, which a few years ago was found in it 60 sunken ships from the 2nd century AD. Heraclean was built on the Egyptian city of Tanis, which was an important port of Egypt, on the Mediterranean Sea, in the past about 600 BC. The temple of Khonsu, the god of the moon, is the son of the god Amun, one of the most important landmarks of Tanis, visited by people from the eastern Mediterranean for worship and healings. The Greeks were associated with them, Hercules, and then the temple became the temple of Amun, the submerged city. It lies in the Gulf of Abu Qir, and its name was driven from its association with the character of the Greek mythology hero Hercules. The two cities flourished until the end of the 4th century AD at the very least, when Alexander the Great established Alexandria in 332 BC. The Ptolemaic period of the Greek rule began, which ended in 30 BC, and the era of the Roman rule. At one point, the city began to sink. By the 8th century, the cities had sunk several meters below the Mediterranean Sea floor, and they had been misrepresented for many centuries. In 1933, Constantine played a role in the discovery of the first sunken site in Egypt for the monuments. A pilot of British weapons was discovered in the Gulf of Abu Qir east of Alexandria. Prince Omar Tosson was informed. He was known for his love for the effects and was a member of the board of directors of the Royal Archaeological Society in Alexandria at that time. The prince financed the search and the retrieval. The marble of Alexander the Great is reserved now in the Greco-Roman Museum in Alexandria. At the beginning of the 90s, foreign missions became interested and began to work in the researches and excavations of sunken monuments in Egypt. The site of Qaitbay Castle is one of the most important sites of these antiquities. It covers an area of 22,500 meters square and contains more than 3,000 archaeological artifacts, which was found as a result of a technically complex and technically difficult operation organized by the European Institute of Marine Archaeology, IEASM, in Paris,